Imagine a beloved community institution, like a sanctuary for the most vulnerable, helpless animal.
Right, a place you just trust completely.
Exactly. But what happens when you discover that, this exact same sanctuary is actually an alleged house of horrors that's been operating in plain sight for 30 years?
I mean, it completely shatters your sense of trust.
Mhm.
You realize the visible, comforting surface was just hiding something entirely unimaginable.
Yeah, and that is the core of our exploration into today's source material. We're looking at a video transcript of an investigation into Miranda's rescue, which is an animal sanctuary in Fortuna, California, run by Shannon Miranda.
And this source is wild because it features these raw, firsthand accounts from whistleblowers who literally spent decades trying to expose the truth.
Right, decades. And our mission here isn't just to list out a timeline of what allegedly happened. We need to dissect exactly how the massive systemic failure occurs.
Yeah, like how the pressures of public expectations and a really charismatic leader allow an operation like this to just continue for 3 decades.
Okay, let's unpack this, because the core allegation detailed by the investigators will just stop you in your tracks. They describe a situation where, quote, 730 animals walked in and none walked out.
It's just a staggering claim. And to understand how it got to that point, I mean, we have to look at the illusion itself. For 30 years, Miranda's Rescue operated as a highly trusted no-kill sanctuary in Humboldt County.
Right, it was the go-to place.
Exactly.
But every illusion has a crack. And for a whistleblower named Jenna Raymond, that crack appeared 20 years ago, and it cost exactly $50.
Yeah, so she surrendered a stray adult black cat, paid a $50 surrender fee, but then felt incredibly guilty about it.
We've all been there. So less than 24 hours later, she calls back to check on the cat and take it home. But Miranda claims this adult black cat has already been adopted.
Which, I mean, a same-day adoption for an adult black cat is highly unusual in the rescue world.
Right. So Jennifer asks for the new owner's contact info so she can get the cat back. Shannon completely refuses, demands complete confidentiality, and just instantly gets hostile.
Immediately on the defensive.
Yeah, it's like dropping your car off at a mechanic. When you ask for it back the next morning, they just start screaming at you.
Why? Because they aren't actually mad at your question.
Exactly. They're using sudden aggression as a smokescreen to cover up the fact that they already sold your car for parts. Wait, if he's running a legitimate business, why jump straight to hostility over a simple follow-up question?
Well, what's fascinating here is the psychology of the scam. Scammers often use forced confidentiality and aggression as a shield.
Oh, to just shut you up.
Yeah, it's a defense mechanism designed to shut down basic inquiries. They rely entirely on the fact that most polite people will just back down and walk away to avoid a conflict.
But, I mean, if he's getting this hostile over a single $50 cat, how is he reacting to the hundreds of animals a rescue normally handles on a daily basis? Because investigators ultimately uncovered a massive scale of deception.
They really did.
We're talking about a barn covered in blood, 117 buried bodies, and evidence of animals being shot with a .22 rifle.
And they also found 600 empty collars.
Wow, 600.
Yeah, and those collars are the crucial detail here. The investigators didn't just find a horrifying scene. They found the physical ledger of a scam. 600 empty collars means 600 collected surrender fees without a single mouth to feed.
Because the motive here was allegedly money. The source says surrender and fake adoption fees were reaching up to $5,000 per animal.
Right, and to maintain that cash flow without actually feeding the animals, the source details an area known as the Lost Coast.
Which is this totally empty 5,000-acre cattle ranch.
Exactly. According to the whistleblowers, Miranda's network would take loads of 5 to 15 cats out to this deserted ranch, dump one single bag of dry food in a barn, and just turn them loose.
That is insane. Just house cats left in rugged mountains to starve or become prey for coyotes and mountain lions.
It's horrific. And another whistleblower, Jenna Moore, she worked at a local vet clinic back in 2001 and 2002. She witnessed Miranda bringing in entire crates of healthy, highly adoptable animals just to be euthanized.
Oh my God.
Yeah, until the clinic finally just refused him service.
Wait, I'm stuck on the logistics here. You can't just hide the intake of that many animals. Surely the sheer volume of crates and vans rolling up would have neighbors calling the cops.
Well, a sanctuary provides the perfect impenetrable cover for volume.
Oh, because people expect it.
Right. The public expects an animal rescue to be overrun. If you see dozens of dogs arriving at a normal house, you call animal control. But if you see them arriving at a sanctuary, you applaud the owner for doing the hard work.
Right, that makes total sense.
The operation actively exploited the very nature of animal rescue to just mask its unbelievable turnover rate.
So you're listening to this right now thinking, well, why didn't anyone just call the sheriff? Someone did 20 years ago.
Yeah, Jennifer filed a formal complaint with the sheriff and wrote to every single local newspaper in the county.
And the media stayed entirely silent. And to make it worse, the sheriff's department allegedly tipped Miranda off about the complaints.
Which just led him to call and harass Jennifer directly.
I mean, it highlights a deeply broken local system. Local police departments like Rio Dell, Fortuna, Ferndale, they not only failed to investigate, they held official contracts to bring him dogs.
Yeah, a 2025 public records request revealed that 635 dogs were sent to Miranda's from public shelters alone in a single year.
That is massive. To keep up with that intake, he would have to be adopting out 50 large adult dogs a month. Every single month.
Which is just statistically impossible in a small county.
Here's where it gets really interesting. The source notes that Miranda was a highly charismatic guy who could, sell ice to an Eskimo.
Right. Super persuasive.
But charm can only carry you so far. The California Animal Welfare Association actually sent out a formal warning notice to shelters in 2024 to be careful about sending animals to Miranda's rescue. Why would official taxpayer-funded shelters ignore a formal 2024 warning and keep sending him dogs?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, we really have to look at the crushing burden of the no-kill movement.
Oh, because shelters nationwide are just overflowing right now.
Exactly. The public fiercely demands that animals aren't euthanized for space, but there simply aren't enough adopters.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So when a sanctuary magically offers to take all of a shelter's overflow, desperate shelter directors intentionally look the other way. They disregard warnings because the alternative, euthanizing healthy dogs and losing their no-kill status, is PR suicide.
Wow. So our collective unwavering demand for guilt-free solutions basically created the exact blind spot this operation allegedly exploited. So with the official system completely refusing to act, the whistleblowers had to take drastic measures. In 2023, Jennifer and Jenna teamed up, and Jennifer went to absolute extremes.
Yeah, she bought the property right next door to the rescue just so she could spy on the operation and monitor the traffic going in and out.
Which is wild. But that level of dedication was necessary because the brazenness of the alleged operation was just completely out of control. Miranda even went on social media, filming a video with a dog he jokingly claimed he dug up from the ground in his backyard.
And he did it specifically to mock another whistleblower, Mariana Mullins, who had been locally crucified for daring to speak out against him.
But wait, after all this evidence, the blood, the collars, the buried bodies, he is still open for business today. The district attorney is currently refusing to shut him down for fraud. Are you telling me the law protects the alleged abuser's property rights over the immediate safety of the animals?
It's an agonizing legal paradox. I mean, in California, if the DA simply shuts his business down for fraud today, the remaining animals legally transition from rescue inventory to his personal property.
Oh, so law enforcement would completely lose the authority to seize them.
Exactly. They wouldn't even be able to check on them. To win the war and permanently stop him, the DA has to temporarily tolerate his continued operation while building a massive, bulletproof 30-year case.
Wow, a case for animal cruelty, maiming, and malicious intent.
Right. And in the meantime, they are monitoring the facility 3 days a week and enforcing weekly vet visits. It just requires a maddening amount of patience to legally dismantle a 30-year fraud.
So what does this all mean? We've traced a path from a single missing black cat and a $50 fee all the way to a multi-decade county-wide alleged conspiracy.
It was an illusion held together by a charismatic leader, fueled by the desperation of an overwhelmed shelter system, and completely reliant on the exploitation of public goodwill.
Yeah, if you've ever dropped an animal off at a sanctuary and driven away feeling good about yourself, this story really makes you wonder if you were actually saving a life. Or just, buying your own peace of mind.
It's a harsh reality check.
Yeah.
And it leaves us with a critical, lingering question. If this massive operation was only sustained because official, taxpayer-funded shelters knowingly ignored red flags and formal warnings just to keep their own no-kill statistics clean, well, when the criminal trial finally happens, shouldn't the municipalities who paid him to take those dogs be sitting on trial right next to him?